Yo, what's going on? And welcome back to some more Genshin Impact. It's been quite a long time, a few months, maybe like a month and a half ish. Not exactly sure at this point. Since we've actually played Genshin Impact, well, at least recorded videos. I'm always playing this game, um, pretty much every day, just doing dailies and stuff because they're kind of fun to do. Don't take a lot of time, take my mind off of other things. And I didn't feel like there was a whole lot to actually do in the game as far as making videos. But today we have a new character, which is a character people have been waiting for a very long time because she was in the game in the beta test before the game even came out. And people have been wanting her ever since then. But here we are, almost a year after the game has come out, and we finally get her, and that is Kamisato Ayaka. Now, she is a one-handed sword user. I believe her moves are a little bit different than they were in the beta test. I didn't play the beta test, so I don't really know exactly what she did, but she has a cool mechanic that I don't believe she had before, which is when you dash with her, like her dash is like Mona's where she like turns into ice in the floor. But when you come out of the dash, she actually empowers herself with ice attacks, much like Kaching empowers herself with electro attacks after she uses her skill. And since you're dodging around a lot, just in this game in general, you're going to find yourself just dodging moves and then constantly having your ice attack up. So Kamisato is going to make a very good like ice elemental character. You're probably not going to be able to do a physical DPS build just because there is no way to make it so she doesn't do ice damage on her auto attacks and you want to be dodging. So it's kind of like it just makes sense to do an ice build with her. Now, we're coming back to the game, and I have saved up a lot of Primo Gems over the time that we've been away. I can definitely guarantee that we get a Kamisato Ayaka today, but I'm also pretty interested in getting Yoimiya, which I believe is the next character. I think she's in this patch. I don't actually know that for positive, but she was in the like little press conference video thing that they do. So I assume that she is the banner right after this banner because they now do two banners every single patch. And we haven't in the past had much luck with getting a character on the first pity. We've almost always had to double pity. We definitely had to on Eula. I'm sure we had to on Ganyu. I think we had to on Zhongli. Um, we had to on Klee. I didn't have to on Venti, but I believe I did Venti on my own before I was doing like any summoning videos or anything. And then I can't remember if we did on Hu Tao or not, actually. Hu Tao is maybe the one that we actually got without having to double pity. So Hu Tao and Venti might be the only ones that I got without having to double pity. Now, obviously, not having to double pity saves you a lot of materials, so I will be hoping to not have to double pity so we can maybe go for Yoimiya as well. I do have a lot of resources available to me. Up here you can see we have 24,000, almost 500 Primo Gems. It takes 28,400 if you go 90-90 to get a single character. But you almost never go 90 just because of how the pity system works. Plus, we got these extra intertwined fates over here, which makes up a good portion. Pretty much gets us to the 2,800 that we're looking for. Not quite, it's more like 2,700 Primo Gems. But then we also have 195 Masterless Star Glitter, which is 39 summons, I think. You can't actually click on it, but you can go to the shop here, right here. I think it's 39 summons. Yeah, it is 39 summons. So we also have that. I don't want to buy it until we need it, so we'll save it for that. I was also looking at this weapon. The weapon looks really cool. I did the quick little test run with Ayaka, and she of course has her weapon. I read through the weapon and it seems pretty good. I don't really have an understanding of quite how good it is. Um, it is a crit damage substat weapon, which means that it's quite valuable as long as you're building a whole bunch of crit on your thing. And they made this new epitomized path for you to make sure that you can actually get these weapons. But again, if you're doing this, it does take 3 5 stars to actually get the thing you're looking for. So if I were to pick this sword and then I get, say, the polearm or something else, and then the second time I get another polearm, only on the third one will I actually be guaranteed to get the sword. I could have gotten the sword on the previous ones, but you need to keep that in mind. This is still not a fantastic deal, but it does make it a lot easier to get this to R5 if that's what you're looking for. So do I think that the weapon banner is still a scam? Yeah, it's still kind of a scam. Unless you're trying to R5 a weapon, I think the epitomized thing has made it slightly easier to R5 the weapon. But let's go ahead and get started with our Ayaka wishes. I always want to call them summons because they're called summons and other things. I think we're starting at 7 just because our Eula appears here at the start of the second page. I think we were doing 10 pulls. So we might be at wish number 7, but we're just going to do 10 pulls. And is that for real? Excuse me? What do you mean my inventory's full? Which inventory could you possibly be referring to? You're referring to my artifact inventory. That makes me pretty mad because you definitely can't get artifacts from wishes. I've been having this problem. This happens to me in... No, I keep opening the wrong menu. This happens to me in every gacha game I play where my inventory gets full and I'm too lazy to clean it out. So slowly I've been putting artifacts on random characters and leveling the artifacts. So I have a ton of leveled artifacts now. But we're gonna make room in my artifacts really quick just because I want to be able to wish right now. And maybe at some point I will fix this situation, but literally I can only hold like 20 blue and purple artifacts at a time right now because the other 980 are all 5-star artifacts. Some of them I've locked. Actually, a large portion I've locked, which I probably shouldn't do. I've locked way more than I'm ever going to use, but I just like, if I see an artifact with potential, I just feel the need to lock it. And so I do. And then a lot of them are also just artifacts that I've been too lazy to use as fodder to level up. But let's go ahead and act. What do you mean? No space left in inventory. What inventory are you talking about? Hold up. This is a problem. I just freed up space in here. Maybe I need 10 slots free, and it's not going to let me do it until we have 10 slots free. That's a reasonable assessment. But like nothing else could be full. Like my weapons are very obviously I don't have that many weapons. So we might have to on the fly here get rid of some artifacts. Do I have more artifacts? Not really. I don't want to use those. Hold up, hold up. No, don't use any of that. Get out of here. Let me find a few of... See, this is all the garbage that I have that I don't need. Like, what is this? Attack? We don't need that. This? I mean, that one's actually decent. This is the problem that I have. I look at it and I'm like, I see potential in there. I can't get rid of it. That one's bad. That one's never gonna get used. That one's really bad. Also really bad. Also just horrible. Okay. Yeah, get rid of all of those. This flower's almost maxed now. I was using Diona as a placeholder for Ayaka. I actually didn't really... I haven't gone to Inazuma yet. So, if you guys do want to see me go to Inazuma for the first time, be sure to let me know. Because fairly soon I am going to go to Inazuma probably this weekend. So make sure you let me know if you want to see me do anything for Inazuma, or in Inazuma for the first time. There we go. We can finally summon. But yeah, make sure to let me know if you want to see anything in Inazuma, because otherwise I'm just going to do most of it on my own. You want me to go back and do the character stories and stuff? I got Ning Long. But yeah, if you want me to do the stories, I've done a lot of the stories. I actually never did Kazuha's story. I've kind of been a little bit lazy with story content lately. I just kind of like get on, do a little bit of grinding, and then call it good. But as far as this banner goes, this banner actually seems pretty good. Um, like Ninglong's a cool character, and I don't have very many Ninglongs, so duplicate Ninglongs are great. Chongyun, I can't remember how many Chongyuns I have, but he is going to probably go quite well with Ayaka, just because he could put down his little field and empower all of her auto attacks to be cryo. Even though I said earlier, I think that your auto attacks are almost always going to be cryo anyways, just because the game kind of necessitates you dodging, at least sometimes. So if you're dodge, and the buff lasts like 5 seconds, so if you dodge once every 5 seconds, then you're gonna be permanent cryo damage. And then the last one, of course, is Yanfei, which we did a short summoning session for. Um, I think that the fact that she is a fairly new character is going to make it easier for people who haven't gotten the chance to get her yet to actually pick her up, which is nice. So overall, I think this banner is actually really good. And we actually got a Chongyun and a Yanfei on this poll. And a Widsith. We got 3 4-stars? That's crazy. In just this 10 poll. Can we get another one? And no, we cannot. Oh, I have Chongyun maxed apparently. So every time we get a Chongyun, it's a free summon essentially. Because it costs 5 Masterless Star Glitter to get a summon, and once you have the character maxed, then you get 5 every time you pull them. So every Chongyun we see is a free summon, essentially. And so we're 20 in-ish. Again, I don't really know where we were starting, just because our Eula was supposedly 7 pulls back, but it was on a 10 pull, so I can't really tell you where that puts it. Oh, you can kind of skip a little bit faster. There's another Yanfei. Actually, duplicate Yanfeis are pretty good. I think I had... Did we have... No, we only grabbed one Yanfei and then immediately dipped out, I think, because we found her on, like, the 6th pull. But I think it was either C1 or C2 Yanfei is pretty good for, like, dramatically increasing her damage, which now we've probably achieved. So we could take a look at that later. We are now on... 40 pulls? Somewhere after 40. It'd be great if we could get an early just Ayaka. At least make it so the first 5-star we get is Ayaka, another Yanfei. I like to see that. I don't have very many Ningguang constellations, and I didn't have very many Yanfei constellations. Now we're like already halfway done with Yanfei at this point. So getting more and more is going to be nice, but again, I want to save as many materials as possible to hopefully get Yoimiya as well. But you can see that I have way more than enough to get Ayaka, so even if we have to go the distance for Ayaka, we're still going to be a good portion of the way to Yoimiya. But it's going to be tough, especially if she is the next banner. But each of these Chongyuns that we get, really stacking up our summons. So what are we at now? Stop paying attention. It's got to be 60-somethings. Like 65, 66 in that region. Still no 5-star, though. The summoning session is going to be shorter than the part where we had to figure out how to empty out our inventory, which is pretty funny. What was that, a Favonius Lance? I don't really use too many different pole arms. What are you? You are a Favonius Lance. I don't think I use the Favonius Lance at all. The only Lance I think I really use is the prototype Lance thing that I use on Zhongli because it gives energy recharge, so it makes him charge up his meteorite faster. Okay, so this, I'm hoping that we get it. I would expect a 5-star here. Yeah, okay. Now, can it be Ayaka? That would be great. Not having the double pity here, I think, would be a great boon towards making sure I can get Yoimiya. I was like, who the heck is that? Oh, it's a Ninglong. We're getting close. It's coming. It's coming any second now. Oh, that wasn't it. Not quite. Okay, we're like 1 or 2 away. It's Ayaka. Oh, Okay, we did it. We got Ayaka, and we didn't even have to double pity today, which is great news. Um, so we got 16,000 Primo Gems left, plus 16,000 is a little over 90 because 14,400 is 90 wishes. So this is pretty much like 100 wishes right there. Well, I mean, you could have done that math probably. You could have done uh 100 times 160 and figure that one out by yourself. But we also got this Masterless Star Glitter, which is giving us another 44 summons at the moment. So we have almost enough for a double pity just in the materials that we have left over. And it took us today about 75. We could look at our history. It probably does. It doesn't update that quickly, does it? No, it doesn't. I forgot about that. It's been so long since I actually wished, because the last time we wished was literally for Eula, which was 4 banners ago. Because I skipped all the other banners just to make sure I'd have enough for this and then hopefully the next one. But I think I've set myself up in a good position. We should be able to get Yoimiya when she comes out. Um, yeah, let's take a look at our Ayaka. Um, Actually, let's take a look at all the constellations that we got too. What did we get? No, not artifacts. Fudge. How many did we get for you? We got 2. I think her 1 is really good, but I already had her 1, obviously. When Jade Screen is shattered, its cooldown will reset. Yeah. Seems fine. And then what does this one do? Just increases the Star Shatter by 3 levels. I don't think she has anything crazy down here. Increases, nah, defensive one on Ning Wong is not that good. I don't know how good this is, though. This could be pretty good, but not what we're looking at. And then we already had Chong Yun done, so don't need to look at that. How many did we get of Yan Fei? We actually got 3. Her 1 makes it so her charge attack, each existing Scarlet Steel reduces the stamina cost that the charge attack reduces of this charge attack by 10% and increases resistance against interruption during its release. Oh, it additionally does that. So it already did that kind of, but now it's 10% better at doing that for each Scarlet Seal you have. You can have 3 Scarlet Seals if I remember correctly, so it could be up to 30% better. Um, and then I think 2 was the good one. Increases charge attack crit rate by 20% against I mean it's okay. It's definitely good, but you're probably going to want close to 100% crit rate on her anyways. And then increases the level of... Is that her skill? I don't remember which one's her skill and which one's her thing. I haven't really used her yet. But for the main force today, we got Ayaka. The weapon that I plan to use on her, assuming that I don't get her weapon, which I probably won't, but I have been stacking up these black swords, as you can see, and I am almost certainly going to use them on her because it's going to give her crit rate, it's going to increase her normal and charge attack damage, and it's going to give her healing. And the reason that I mean, when I was stacking up this sword, I didn't know that it was going to go to Ayaka. It could have gone to like Kaching or something, but I've never pulled a Kaching. But the reason that I think it's going to be really good on Ayaka is because she's going to do a lot of auto attacking. Um, and the fact that her auto attacks are going to become cryo, this is just going to be a 20% damage boost to her cryo boosted auto attacks then. And it's going to give her healing. So in a way, I might be able to just use Ayaka as a full team on her own, assuming that I build her strong enough. She'll have healing, she'll have crit, and she'll have a bunch of increased damage. She'll be doing an elemental damage type, which is pretty valuable, especially because elemental is usually easier to boost and could get much higher than your physical can. Um, but that is the weapon that I plan to use on her. You can see I already will have the ability to get to R4, but I think the next one I'm going to, from the next battle pass, I'm going to grab another one to get it to R5, and that'll make it so her auto attacks are actually 40% better. And I think she'll have a 100% chance to heal when she scores a crit, or 100% of her attack or something. So you want to build, I'm going to want to build a lot of attack on her for my sake. And then as far as artifacts go, I don't remember if either of the two new artifact sets are designed for Ayaka or not. I'm trying to think. I can't remember exactly what they do. So I'd have, once I get to Inazuma, I'll have to check them out again. But I have been saving up a lot of Blizzard Strayer stuff. It's just kind of like the domain that I go to. I have this one you can see is pretty good. Lots of crit rate, lots of crit damage. I have this one that you just saw me leveling, which is it's hard to decide if this one's better. It kind of depends on what the last thing this one gets. If it gets either crit rate or crit damage, unfortunately it's rolled flat attack twice. But if it gets either crit rate or crit damage, I think it might be better than this one, just because this one rolled so much defense. And then we might as well equip it on her right away. And then as far as feathers go, this is the one that I leveled for her. My Ganyu has a decent feather. This one I think is actually better. It's tough because I have some pretty good feathers here, and you can see like I have a lot of things that I like level or lock that I think might have potential. But this is the one that I chose for now. It's got crit rate and crit damage. It's probably better than my Ganyu's feather, so I could consider giving it to my Ganyu as well. But for now, it'll go to Ayaka. And then here I hadn't really chosen what I was going to use. I have a few locked ones. Um, this one's just such a shame that it's energy recharge and not attack percent. Because like I said earlier, I'm gonna want attack percent on her. I actually don't have a single attack percent one. Really? Like, look at this. This is such a shame. If that had been attack percent, that'd be fantastic. I I think I've been farming this for like the past 2 weeks or something, and somehow I don't have a good attack percent one. You saw we had that one attack percent. Here's another attack percent, but they're like really bad. Like they're all flat stats across the board. That's unfortunate. I really don't have anything. Ganyu's is pretty good because I guess it did roll a flat defense like 3 times. So not that good. Maybe it rolled it 4 times actually. I don't know. I've just been really lucky with these Blizzard Strayer timepieces, I guess. So timepiece we'll just ignore for now. Um, as far as cup goes, we talked about that we're gonna want cryo bonus damage on her. Do I have any good cryo bonus damage? I have obviously haven't leveled one yet. That one good? That one's okay. This is a pretty decent one as far as things are concerned. We'll equip that in as we look through the rest of them real quick. Oh, I have some Blizzard Strayer cryo bonus damage cups. How does this one compare to what we just equipped? I mean, the one that we equipped is better, obviously, but this one's part of the set, and it could free you up to use like a better helmet somewhere else. And then we get into the other bonus damages. So we'll keep that cup temporarily, and then we'll switch it back to Blizzard Strayer. What do I have here? Why are these out of order? Shouldn't it put Ganyu's at the top? Oh, the problem with picking a crown right now is you kind of need to know if you're going to have more crit rate or crit damage out of the rest of your artifacts. So I can't really pick a crown right now. Crown kind of has to be picked last because you're either picking a crit rate main stat or a crit damage main stat. With the sword being a crit rate, I only have like one decent crit damage, so I guess I'll temporarily equip that. And then, where did I see one of the attack percent ones? We'll just put it on. Must have passed it. Where'd you go? I think they're in a different order than they were before. There's one of them. Sure, we'll put that on right now. They are in a different order than they were before. Oh my gosh. I swear there was a second one, but I'm not seeing it now. Oh well. Anyways, that is kind of what I'm looking at for my Ayaka. I'm glad that we got her on the first set. It was about, since we didn't get to check our history, but we pulled her like second to last, right? So that means that it probably took us 75 summons, which is about the expected zone where you're gonna get your 5-star. So decent, and we won the 50-50 and got her on the first one, so we'll almost certainly have enough for Yoimiya when she comes around. So be looking forward to that. So I will be summoning for Yoimiya, and there'll likely be a video on that once she actually comes out. But be sure to let me know if you want any other Genshin stuff. I know that some people, a few people, have gone on to my videos that aren't Genshin related and asked if there's going to be more Genshin stuff. And honestly, I don't really know because it doesn't really get more views than the other stuff. So I just kind of do whatever I feel like doing. But if you guys want something specific, you can always let me know. People just there's not a whole lot of people who watch stuff, so there's not a whole lot of people who ask for stuff, which is perfectly fine. I'll just keep making whatever as well. But if you want something, let me know, and I will definitely consider it. But either way, hopefully you enjoyed this summoning session. Back to Genshin after what's been a while, and I will be going to Inazuma this weekend. If you want to see any of that, make sure to let me know. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.